Hey, what's up? My name is John Bonjour. I'm a comic book artist and film enthusiast. I have not drawn any art for this video, but I would like to enthuse about and discuss the double feature that I caught at the drive-in the other night, which was Elio and Lilo and Stitch, the live-action remake. Okay, so before I dive into either of the movies, my experience with the drive-in was extremely weird and very fun. I love the drive-in so much. It's one of my favorite places to be. I love that it's cheap. I love that it's outdoors. I love that you still get to do movies, because you know that's my favorite thing. It's just a good time all around. If you have a drive-in near you, you should absolutely check them out. This story does not reflect how I feel generally about drive-ins. However, we were at the concession line about half an hour before the movie was going to start, and somebody came onto the roof of the concession building and said, "Hey everybody, so we can't really process your ticket, and we can't really get you any food because the power is out because a balloon exploded on the power line." And we all kind of went, huh? Like, what? Excuse me? Like, what does a balloon have that power? What do we do? You'd need a power to show a movie. All of these thoughts crossed our minds. And yeah, I assume that they crossed theirs too, because they said, okay, well, the power guys, we've called them. We'll see. We'll see. It was not a lot of confidence. So we were like, okay, cool. We'll wait in line. They ended up figuring out how to get some food going. So we were like, sure, we'll buy some popcorn, have a soda, whatever. It'll be fun. So my wife and I got through the line, got our soda, got our popcorn. It took probably 40 minutes to do that. And then we went back to our cars. We were hanging out with some friends, and we started hearing like this announcement that was like, okay, well, the movie was supposed to start at 9. If by 10 the power guys haven't come, we probably won't be able to do it, so whatever. But if they do come, then we'll try to get it going and just launch right into the movie for you guys. By the time we got to like 9:45, like I was walking around going like, okay, so chances are pretty low, if I'm being honest, that we were gonna make it to these movies. But if you want to stay, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, it's not looking great. We saw him do this to literally every car. So anyway, the movie started at probably 11:15, after it was supposed to start at 9. So I got out of there at 2. All of that to say, there's a pretty good chance that informed my opinion on especially Lilo and Stitch, but I don't think completely. I feel solid about where I stand on that. Anyway, we're gonna get into it. Elio, the new Pixar movie, is really cute. It's really solid. It is an original movie. That's the thing people have been clamoring for years. And by years, I mean about 2 weeks after the last original movie came out, everybody goes, oh, they never make original movies anymore. And it's like, they do. They do, and they are. You just didn't go see it. You didn't see it. You didn't want to. But Elio is an original movie. It's about aliens, so you know I love that. I'm an alien freak. No, I'm not an alien freak. I love aliens. I'm intrigued by the idea of aliens. My wife is a human being. This is getting out of hand. The point being, Elio is really cute. I think in a lot of ways it's a little bit disjointed. There's some things about it that kind of feel like they didn't totally add up to anything. And there is an element of animation has been an industry that has been developing so much in the last few years that seeing a movie like Elio that kind of feels like most to all of the other Pixar movies it's like 50% nostalgic and 50% I feel like Pixar could be doing more to develop their animation, to grow in their storytelling, to do some new things, challenge their system a little bit. And Elio is not that. On the other hand, though, it's also not that. Like, it's not a shake-up. It's not doing anything new. Well, it's doing new things, but it's not doing anything radically different from what they've already done, which I kind of like. Like, it's a heartwarming, solid, cute movie. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what we go for Pixar for. And I'm kind of torn because Pixar has brought us things like Soul that really are challenging and really do some new and effective and evocative things. Where I also feel like they've given us, Onward, which is also a very cute. This feels like Onward, I guess. It's a cute, fun, solid movie. There's some really funny moments. I think for kids, it's gonna be a huge win. Much bigger than Lilo and Stitch. Well, it won't be bigger than Lilo and Stitch, but it should be bigger than Lilo and Stitch. It's just like, at the end of the day, I really don't have that many complaints about Elio. I think it's not really shaking up the formula. It's not trying anything super grandiose or super new. And I'm perfectly fine with that because I think it's a really solid movie, and I do recommend seeing it. If nothing else, when it goes on Disney Plus, it's definitely worth seeing, but I think it would be worth going to see in theaters just to support original filmmaking. That does get us to our next movie that I saw in the double feature, but before we get into me complaining about Lilo and Stitch, I do have a free comic book. It's called Edge of Bordertown, and it's on my website, johnbonart.com, JONBONART.com. Edge of Bordertown is like a sci-fi, fantasy, action, post-apocalyptic, very strange book. It's really good. I'm really extremely proud of it. We're in chapter 6, which is kind of rounding out the first major arc of the story. I post pages weekly on my website. I also post those pages a week early on my Patreon. That's patreon.com/JohnBonjour. But if you do want to read that, I am so proud of this book, and I would really appreciate you reading it. Again, it is 100% free. So please go on my website and read my comic. It would mean the world to me. And now we go on with the show. So Lilo and Stitch, sure, right? Okay. This is kind of the best case scenario, in my opinion, for one of these live action remakes, which is just like, I guess it's fine. It's not offensive. It doesn't ruin the first movie. Like, Aladdin to me is a movie that I watch the original Aladdin and then I just have to remember that, oh yeah, they also made that live action remake that's kind of dookie. Lilo and Stitch is not one of those. It's also not good. Just don't hear me wrong. It's not a good movie. It is the most okay movie I've ever seen. It is the thing that these are, right? Like, it's almost one for one, the exact same plot, story, beats, gags as the original animated movie, but done in live action, which I guess is better for some people. But to me, when you redo an animated movie in live action, you're always going to be having that feeling of like, oh yeah, this was more energetic and more literally animated in the original movie, and now it just kind of feels like this slightly slower, worse, not as engaging piece of whatever it is. The things that they got right are the important things to get right. Lilo is adorable, there is no question about that. Stitch is done very well, his CGI is good, the character beats, I guess, are good because they were good in the original movie. Those two work well together, so when they're wreaking havoc and doing fun things, the movie hits. Like, the movie is solid in those moments. However, I don't think I've ever seen a larger discrepancy between the things that work in a movie and the things that absolutely do not. And by that I mean things that work, Lilo, Stitch. The things that don't, literally everything else in this movie. All the auxiliary characters, all the other animated characters, every other piece of this movie is operating on none of their cylinders. It is so weird to watch this film because it's like, you get to a Lilo and Stitch scene and it's a fun little thing and you're like, oh, this has got the juice, this has got some energy, this is kind of fun, I'm engaged, I'm not bored. And then anytime they're either not on screen or not pretty much the only characters on screen, it hits a screeching halt that is so obvious and so uncomfortable. And it's not because any of the actors are bad, it's just, there's just something very strange. It's like the movie doesn't even care about their characters enough to do anything with them. It doesn't care about getting that element of the movie right, so the script ends up being bad. It ends up feeling just flatter and worse. Like, there's something very strange about the rest of the movie that I don't think we can put on the actors. They're doing their best. They're committing to whatever they're doing. They're just not doing anything. So it just ends up being this really long, kind of boring slog of a movie. I fell asleep a couple of times. And like I said, this could be slightly, barely influenced by the fact that we started this movie at like 12:30 in the morning, maybe 1. So it's like, yeah, it didn't really have a shot to like really capture my heart, but I did try to like it. I tried to watch it, I tried to enjoy it, and it really lost me. Also, I know there's a lot of people out there that are really upset about the ending, which if you don't know and you don't want to get spoiled, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to spoil what they do, but I assume you already know or you've seen the movie if you really cared that much. Point being, the way that they ended this movie, I had heard people get really, really upset about that and get really frustrated because it is stupid, because the ending of the movie is stupid. But my thing is, like, yeah, it's a dumb ending. It goes against everything that the characters have done. It goes against all of the themes that have been set up in this movie. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't care because it's not good enough for me to care. Like, it's not done well enough for me to care about the characters on any level beyond just like, oh good, the credits are finally rolling. So when we did get to that ending, I just have a hard time feeling like anybody who was upset by that ending was invested enough in the movie before it to really be upset by that. Maybe they just wanted something to hang on to. At least that's my takeaway. It's not good enough for me to be upset about it. It is dumb and it is stupid, but so is the idea of remaking of Lilo and Stitch in live action. I do not understand the point of these things. I'm so frustrated by their existence. I'm so mad that this is making crazy money. There's this weird section of my heart that wants movies, all movies, to be successful. I just think I'm realizing more and more every day that I would rather they be successful creatively than financially. I'm so tired of these movies coming out and making money. I'm so tired of things like Elio not making money. If you really want to remake an animated movie in live action, there's two things that I require of you. The movie either has to be bad or mostly forgotten, and also, you have to do something with it. You have to think that you're doing a creative thing. This is why I don't like the How to Train Your Dragon movie. I haven't even seen it. This is why I'm opposed to the How to Train Your Dragon movie, is because there's no way that you think remaking a movie shot for shot in live action is creative on any level. Look at the Psycho shot for shot remake. It's bad because it's Psycho, but worse. And that's always what these are gonna be. So if you're gonna do something, do a new thing with it. Do something that and not just change shit. I don't mean just change anything you can think of. I mean, if you're going to remake a movie, prove to me that you have a purpose for it. If you want to remake Song of the South, be my guest. If you want to remake something that has so much challenging stuff that you're like, hey, we need to take another crack at this, you're more than welcome to. If you want to remake Toy Story in live action, but you think you have a good direction to take it and a reason to actually remake it, I will give you a shot. But that's not the energy that these movies are bringing. These Disney live action movies are not bringing the energy of, oh yeah, we can really make something out of this. They're bringing the energy of, well, you liked it before, let's make some money. Let's make some sweet cash, which I'm tired of. Don't do that. Stop doing that. Make something interesting. Anyway, those are my thoughts on those movies. Elio is really cute. Lilo and Stitch is fine. What are your thoughts on both of those? What are your thoughts on drive-ins? I would love to hear in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video and checking out my channel. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on movies, comics, TV shows, anything of the like, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and comment down below what you'd like me to review next, or do none of those things because I, most certainly, ain't your dad.